Hello, this is Allison Carmen. Welcome to episode 20 of my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. Today I want to talk to you about people pleasing. Now, those of us that have a tendency to be people pleasers often have good intentions. We truly want other people to be happy. We like to be people's cheerleaders. We like to collaborate. We like to be good community members. And often we're pretty great to be around. And that's all beautiful and meaningful. However, the problem is that there's another part of people pleasing. Is that most of us who people please want people to like us. And when we want everyone to like us, one or two things are going to happen. One thing that could happen if you speak your mind because you have strong beliefs or morals or values, or you think there's a certain right way to do something, or you're very opinionated, some people are not going to like you. And because you're a people pleaser, this will make you suffer terribly. You may suffer to a point that you won't sleep at night. You could have anxiety, overthinking. You're just going to have a really hard time functioning in the world when you speak your mind and you still care what other people think of you. The other type of people pleaser is one who doesn't speak up. They have opinions, but they're so obsessed with people liking them that they decide to be quiet. And this method of people pleasing is also highly problematic because you're not going to be very effective. It's like you want all these good things to happen in the world and you want to make a difference. You want to be productive at work. You want to be productive at home. You want to have good relationships. But you're not willing to speak up because you know if you speak up, there will be conflict and there will be problems. And in your mind, you believe that conflicts and disagreements are bad. I have definitely been a people pleaser in my life many times. And I think for both reasons. I've always been an activist and an advocate in many ways, so I would speak up. Or when people get mad at me, it would upset me terribly. I'm very sensitive. I would be stressed. I would be anxious. And sometimes I was the other type of people pleaser. I would be at a meeting, and the minute somebody with a strong personality would disagree with me or would be upset or agitated with what I said, I would start to back down because I wanted them to like me. I didn't want them to be upset with me because it made me feel bad. It was a part of my life that I was less effective. I wasn't always able to accomplish everything I wanted. Yes, I got some stuff done, but had I stood my ground for the right reasons, I think I would have accomplished a lot more. And I see this happen all the time with so many different parts of our lives. And the truth is, it's okay to want to make people happy. It's okay to want to please people. The problem is when we compromise ourselves, either by getting upset when people react to us when they don't like what we said, because we want them to like us so much, or not speaking up because we want people to like us so much. So either way, it's going to be painful or we're not going to be effective. And we have to look, why do we feel need to please people and why do we need people to like us? And I find the main thing that people have in common that are people pleasers is that it's really about having a problem within ourselves. It's really not about the other person. We want people to like us because we want validation. We want to feel okay. We want to know what we said was okay. Or if we don't say something, we want to make sure that people still like us and we keep everything copacetic. We keep everything peaceful. Deep down, we just don't feel okay about ourselves. So both type of people pleasers have self-love issues. Because if we loved ourselves enough, we would come to every situation with a wholeness. We would be okay about speaking our truth. We would have a good, solid purpose for it. Maybe we wanted to get something done. Maybe we have a personal goal. But when we're clear about who we are and we're loving ourselves, then we know we're going to pursue what we feel is right. As long as we're not stepping on people and we're being authentic, then we're going to have to do what we need to do. And when people don't like us, we can't control that piece. But when we don't love ourselves, what other people say means more than how we feel or how we think. Now, I've done a couple of podcasts about different types of self-love issues, and you can go back and listen to a few. But let's tackle a few of them here. The first thing to remember is when you're looking at yourself and you're trying to figure out a way to love yourself, you could see yourself as made up of the same matter as the stars and the moon and every other person that exists on this earth. There's nobody more or less important than you. I think our society creates this construct where we feel that people have more importance, but the truth is they don't. Everybody is equal. But when we love ourselves fully, we stop doubting ourselves. We stop asking ourselves those questions. We stop making other people more important. Another wonderful way that we can look at it Our mental mind creates this construct that we need people to like us. But there's a part of us that goes beyond our mental mind, and that's our senses. And our senses allow us to connect with our authentic self at all times. And one of the best ways to look at it is to ask ourselves what gives us pleasure and what gives us pain. Our senses will not lie to us, and they'll always help us connect back to what we need to say or do at any given time. For instance, let's say there's a project that you want to do at work, and you're really excited about it, and the thought of it gives you a lot of pleasure. Now, if you bring up the issue and all of a sudden someone outside of you, somebody in the room, somebody you work with, your boss, an employee, doesn't like what you brought up, seems a little resistant, and all of a sudden you're in pain. Now, that's the moment of truth. That's the moment where either you're going to let that pain overcome you and back down, let that pain overcome you and not bring it up again. Or you could ask yourself, what is this pain from? Is this pain from me believing my idea is no longer valid? Or it's because I want someone else to like me? And then you could ask yourself, why do I need someone else to like me? And then you go beyond that and you realize that's because you're not feeling whole within yourself. But then you could look at the pleasure. You could weigh the pleasure against the pain. You could recognize that this idea you're looking at, how important it is to you, how valuable it is, and how your pain is a choice, that you could choose wholeness instead. You could realize that you cannot control anybody's reaction in the room. Trying to control someone else is like trying to control a flowing river. You can't stop it. You can't grab it. You can't hold it. Or it's like trying to hold on to air. It's something that cannot be done. And even if you've had success in the past controlling someone's reaction or controlling a business situation, it's not a guarantee. It's not a certainty that we will be able to control other people's reactions. But we can control ourselves. And if something's important to us, we could choose the pleasure of moving forward with our ideas. And we could recognize the pain really is about us not feeling courageous, about us not loving ourselves enough to speak up. And the minute we start to face that and choose pleasure instead of pain, we will see that our life will start to unfold. That even when people don't agree with us, it doesn't mean that a project's not going to move forward. It doesn't mean every relationship is going to fall apart. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to be happy. It just means that we're going to have to work through conflict with certain people. And sometimes people, we're not going to be able to stay on the path with them. And that's okay, because it's not always meant to be. The only guarantee we have is this moment and what we choose to do with it. And we can honor ourselves for moving forward with our lives. So let's go easy on ourselves and ask ourselves, do I really want to be a people pleaser? Who does it serve? It might serve a momentary satisfaction that someone cares and loves us. But then the next time something else could happen. And if they're those type of people that they're going to withdraw their love the minute they don't like what we say, then eventually they're going to do it anyhow. And you will live a life of pain until you decide to be free to express yourself, free to fight for things that matter to you, free to make the world a better place. So thank you today for listening to my podcast. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you like this podcast, please leave a review on iTunes. If you'd like to buy my book, The Gift of Maybe, it's available at all major bookstores and online retailers. And if you're a people pleaser, just try to look at this and start playing around with different options. Start to think about things that are important to you. Think about the things that you want to say, and think about why you don't say them. And if you do say them, think about the pain that you feel. And start thinking about the pleasure of speaking your mind, the pleasure of sharing, collaborating, achieving your goals, and letting go of the pain of trying to control other people. And try to take control of your own life.